Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. I hope you guys have had such a great week. I am hopping on live with two of my very favorite Faster Way coaches, Christie Thomas and Rachel Ayers. And in honor of our upcoming coach information event, we're going to just chat through what it's like to be a Faster Way coach and how that has impacted our lives. So I'm just going to wait a few minutes and hopefully Rachel and Christy will find their way in. The last time I did, maybe not the last time, but one of the most recent times I did a live on Instagram, I got hacked and it was not a good experience. So I'm going to make sure that I'm letting in the right people this time. Lord help us. Thank you for the comment on my hair. Rachel actually last night was like, "Oh, I like your new long hair. Did you get extensions?" And I was like, "No, I don't even know what happened." Okay. So hang on just a second. They're trying to log in. Okay, Rachel, let me see. Ask. Okay, there's Christy. Okay, one of them's asking to, I'm like all up in the camera. Okay, and now, hold on, let's see. Come on, do the thing. Okay, hey, Rachel.
Good morning.
Okay, we're just waiting on Christy. Hopefully she'll figure it out here in a second. Okay, here she comes. Let me just get real up close and personal on the screen again for 1 second. I'm so sorry. Good thing I have on concealer so you don't see my zits. Oh, there she
Hey
is.
guys.
Hey, happy Friday, girls. Long time no.
Happy Friday.
We were literally just on a call last night together, so like we just.
I could get used to this.
I know, I love
Me
it.
too.
Well, thank you, girls, for doing this with me. I know that we're all so busy, so thanks for taking the time out of your day to chat. I was just telling everyone that, because we have a enrollment for our Faster Way Coach certification open, and we have this event coming up on Monday, I wanted to kind of chat through what coaching is, what it has meant to us, and we were talking last night in a different call, and the thing that really stood out to me about these women and myself is that we're all just very different, and we have really unique strategies when it comes to coaching. And I think that is really encouraging because a lot of times we get really nervous to do something like this because of the pressure to utilize social media and to do all of these fancy things when a lot of times we come into this not really knowing what we're doing. So anyways, I want to let these girls kind of talk about their experiences, but first, I wanted to invite you guys to share, if you are a Faster Way client, I would love to know in the comments what your favorite thing about the Faster Way is. So put that in the comments. If you're like, what's the Faster Way? That's cool too. You'll probably learn a little bit about that as well. But first and foremost, I just want us to kind of introduce ourselves. I will quickly introduce myself, and then Rachel Ayers is here. She's one of our top Faster Way coaches, as well as Christy Thomas, and I'll let you guys kind of do your introductions as well. But I am Loren Mattingly, and I've been a Faster Way coach for 4.5 years now. Something that has been just a huge blessing in my life. When I talk about how this has impacted my family, I always cry, so I'm going to try to keep it together. But I came from a very small, I live in a very small town in rural Kentucky, and just knew in my heart as I had, had this kind of transformation on a personal level that my community needed the Faster Way, and there's, a huge lack of education when it comes to nutrition. And a lot of misleading information out there. So I just wanted to kind of bridge that gap that I felt like was missing. Plus, I just saw this as a huge opportunity to contribute financially to my family, and it has really been obviously like so much more than I ever expected it to be. But I love coaching the faster way because I am able to really see those transformations, and the impact is more important than anything else. And I see, women who are diabetic and get to come off of their medication or lower their dosage, find food freedom, and women who are struggling in their through perimenopause and beyond to lose weight. And it's just really a very rewarding job. So anyways, let Rachel, why don't you introduce yourself to us and kind of share a little bit about your coaching background, where you came from, and why you became a fast way coach.
For sure. I'm Rachel. I am a nurse by trade, and now I spend the majority of my time healing people outside of the hospital with Faster Way. I joined Faster Way 2 years ago as a client. I had wanted to join for over a year, but I felt that it was silly. Like, why can't I control myself? Why can't I take care of myself? This is embarrassing that I need help. I feel like as a woman and a mother, we feel like we can't ask for help. We have to do it all. So I was at a spot where nose deep in babies and toddlers and diapers and all these things. And myself was the last thing I took care of. So once I kind of got my feet under me, I decided I'm going to do this. So I joined, loved my 6-week round. I actually didn't continue over into VIP because I was like, I can do this. I can do this. And then I was like, I have to share this. Like, this is working. A light bulb went off. If I can do it, other women can do it. It was like something that was hidden that, why didn't no one tell me this before? That's how I felt. So I felt empowered to help women I knew, to help women I love. If I could relate with someone that was in a position that I was, then that's what I wanted to do. So this was honestly laid on my heart by God, because this is nothing Rachel would have chose. I would have just chose to stay in my box and do my jam. But it's been impressed upon me to impact others. And there is nothing short of empowering a woman. So that's where I feel driven. This is a passion for me. It started out as a hobby because I didn't really have much going on, just stay home, work, do those things. My husband has all these fun things he does. I'm like, I kind of want a hobby. And this hobby has turned out into a full-time, part-time job, with staying home and doing other things. And just empowering women has been a huge blessing for me and my family. And I don't plan on stopping anytime soon.
Yeah. So what was there hesitations when you thought, okay, I may be interested in this, but like, what were your fears?
To coaching?
Yeah.
I'm not good enough. Like, who's going to want to listen to me? I think that's the main fear with everything we face in life. But I felt like I wasn't, like, social media wasn't really that comfortable for me. I just like posting a picture of my boys. I'm like, people are like, what's Rachel doing now? Why is she just posting all these workouts and foods? Like, who is she? But then I realized who I was. So it feels empowering to do that way. But I was honestly very nervous to, like, what are people going to think of me? But then I realized it's worth it. So
that is, I think, a very common fear. And it's that imposter syndrome. Like, who is going to listen to me? I don't, like, how do you stand out and share that authority? And I think it just comes back to, like, being confident in who you are and what your message is and who you want to help. And the rest of it comes through the certification. They do a really good job of teaching you the business strategies and helping us those marketing things, because I didn't even know what a Google document was. Like, never Google Drive. I was like, and I had never done any kind of live thing like this, so it was very intimidating to me as well. And social media is one of those things where it's like, maybe it's not everybody's jam, and I want to talk about that here too, because I think it's important when you are considering becoming a faster way coach to understand that social media isn't the only way to be able to spread the word or share that impact. So Christie, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey to becoming a faster way? What did that look like for you?
Awesome. Hi, everyone. I'm Christie Thomas. I have been a Fast Way coach for about a year now. I'm coming up on my year anniversary. I joined the Faster Way in May of 21. I did my first round after watching the Faster Way for 2 years. I did not think it was going to work for me. I had hypothyroidism my whole life. I've had it since I was 17 and have tried every diet under the sun, just like most of my clients have when they come to the Faster Way. And just like Rachel, I thought I can do this myself. I've been in, nutrition and fitness my whole life. I played soccer all growing up. I played soccer in college. I just was very active. I knew to avoid gluten with hypothyroidism, all those things, but nothing was working. The harder I tried, the more I was gaining weight on my own. And so I kind of got to the end of myself and I was like, you know what? I need some help. And it's worth it for me to spend this $199. And, it really kind of, that price, really made me go after it because it was a commitment. And I think that's something that I actually think is really good about the Fast Way. It's not like a $20 commitment. Like you've got some skin in the game, and that's what happened for me. And I have never experienced more results from the inside out than I did during my 6-week new client round. And now just living the Fast Way lifestyle every single day, I just could not believe how satisfied I was with my food and how much food I was getting to eat and just everything that I learned. I just loved that it wasn't another program that told me to eat, a crazy low amount of calories or count my points or eat in containers or things like that without any type of education behind it. I really felt equipped to be able to carry this lifestyle into the rest of my life, no matter what season of life I was in, and lost, 8.5 pounds in 6 weeks, which for me, with someone with low thyroid function, if you guys are listening, you guys know like 0.2 pounds is a victory. I mean, truly, it's not about the weight, but it was about the inches. I mean, I lost 14.5 inches. I was a believer. I mean, from the get-go, I just couldn't believe my body was capable of changing. I thought it was broken. I thought this is the way I'm going to have to live for the rest of my life. And not just the outward transformation, but the inward transformation. I remember my husband saying, "You seem so much happier." And I was so much happier because I felt better. Like on the inside, the brain fog was going away. I had more energy to play with my girls, to be the mom and the wife I wanted to be. So anyways, it was pretty early on in my 6-week round that I thought, you know what, I'm kind of interested in coaching. And I didn't know how that was going to work because I was working a full-time corporate job, 8 to 5, and was super, super busy. But just like Rachel, I was like, there are so many women out there that need to know and understand these strategies. They need to be equipped. And I was just on passion to want to share those with as many women as possible. And I thought, you know what? I have lots of fear. I have lots of doubt in myself. I don't know how to run a business. Don't have a, large social media following. But I was so, just like I said, on fire for our strategies that I thought, I can't let this fear and this doubt hold me back from these women that I could impact. It's almost like selfishly, if I let that hold me back, what women are not going to be reached with our strategies if I kind of let that be the reason why I didn't become a coach. So
I love that. Okay, so we all had full-time jobs before the Faster Way, and I think that's another hesitation. Like, how can I make this work with other obligations? So, Christy, you were working a full-time 9 to 5 corporate job.
mm-hmm.
So you were working as a nurse. You guys are, Rachel, are you still working as a nurse? Okay. So how often are you doing just like PRN, or is it a set schedule?
Okay, sorry, there's a semi out here. But anyway, so before Faster Way, I was working part-time, so 2 shifts a week, typically 24 plus hours. That's part-time for a nurse. Now I do not work that much in the hospital, maybe a shift or 2 a month, so one every other week, every third week, something like that. I I do that because I want to, because I love the skill, because I love the bedside. I love being relatable with my clients on the health end. But the pressure of showing up for that 2 or 3 days a week is gone now, and I enjoy that. Honestly, before I started Faster Way, Blake and I were wanting to get me into something different, better hours, because being gone from 6 to 8 p.m. 3 days a week, you miss out a lot. People know that. That's a nursing schedule on holidays. So we were always looking at like an office job, like something, but that was just too for me. So I've enjoyed this. I have been home more. I've been with my children more. I've been available. I've been working, but it's much more flexible.
Yeah, exactly. You just have the freedom of like kind of setting your own hours and doing the things that you want to do. I love, someone asked me, we just recently had a retreat. So I took 20 of my coaches to Florida and we had so much fun. But one of the exercises that we did was, we were talking about our finances, and which is like usually not a very fun topic to talk about, but I just was so intrigued. Anyways, I learned a lot about myself through that, but I also found it very interesting that one of her questions to us was like, if you could just like picture your ideal day, like what would that look like? And I almost just like broke down in tears right in that moment, because I was like, I'm doing I'm living that. This is my ideal day. I am doing exactly what I want to do every single day. And there's so much freedom in that. And before, as a dental hygienist, I didn't feel that way. Like I was going to my job, I was clocking in and clocking out, and honestly dreading it every single day. No offense, because my mom was my boss and I absolutely I loved that work environment, but like the
Marlene's gonna get you.
I know. But I just wasn't passionate about that. And you said that you needed a hobby, and that's what my husband would tell me all the time. Like, Loren, you need a hobby. You need something to focus on. Get off my back. So this, quickly became something that I was just like, oh my gosh, I get to wake up every single day and do exactly what I want to do, and cannot think of anything else I'd rather be doing. So that was really, just a cool moment for me. It was like, okay, this is it. Like I wouldn't change a thing. So Christie, you can tell us, how has your schedule changed? Because you said you were working that corporate job, but now what does that look like for you?
Yeah, so when I first started coaching, I kind of squeezed coaching in where I could, still working my full-time job. And, you guys can attest to this. Coaching is hard work. You've got to be committed. But you can fit it into your life, and you can make it what you want to make it. And when, just like you said, Loren, when I was waking up each morning, like, this is my job. Like, this does not feel like a job to me, because I'm so passionate about it. And I just love helping, as many women as I possibly can. And so anyways, I was doing that kind of like in the little gaps in my day that I had, or I was coaching in the gaps in the day that I had, maybe spending a little bit of time after the kids went to bed. And then about 5.5 months in, I thought it would be a dream one day to be able to, quit my corporate job and spend more time with my girls. I've got 2 girls who are 6 and 3.5, and I've just sent them to pretty much full-time childcare every day. My mom picked them up from school. I didn't ever have summers with them. And I thought that would be the dream. Like, that would be the dream if I could do coaching instead of, working this full-time 9-to-5 job. And 5.5 months in, it happened. It absolutely happened. I was able to quit that job, which I loved. So any of my past coworkers who are watching, I love that job. I was there for 8 years. I believed in the company, all the things. But I was so craving that flexibility. And, I'm going to be honest, it was a good paying job. It had benefits, all the things for our family. But man, coaching just totally surpassed my expectations. And just like you said, Loren, it is impact over income 100% all day, every day. And so, but it was my first summer this summer, getting to go to the pool with my girls when I wanted to, not having to get on calls all day long, trying to climb that corporate ladder is no longer there, getting to make my own hours. It's been so freeing, and it's been so fun and so rewarding.
Yeah. And I think that that's really important to note. Like, when you are passionate about what you do, and impact is first and foremost, the financial compensation comes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really important to remember like why you're doing this and not
Mm-hmm.
feel like you know, don't stray from that. I think also that kind of leads me into sharing a little bit about our differences in terms of our coaching styles and how we are each unique in our own businesses, how we run that, how we attract different clients, and being true to ourselves and sticking with that. I think with social media, you can get real caught up in, okay, this girl's doing this, I need to do that, and you know, get overwhelmed with like all of the different moving parts that come with that, and it's easy to lose yourself in that. But I feel like with me, I've always just kind of kept my head down. I've done my own thing. I've continued to stay true to who I am, and I know that I will attract the people who I'm meant to impact. So Rachel, why don't you talk a little bit about how, you know, social media has not really been your thing and how you've utilized your community and your connections and that kind of thing to grow your business?
For sure. So in Faster Way last year, you set a word for the year that you want to proclaim and be like, and so mine was authenticity. And so I'm finding things that truly feel authentic to me. Social media, I love stories. Those are fun. That's the clips of my life. But sometimes posting and sharing, sometimes I like to be serving over selling. You know, and I feel sometimes like I don't know how to get people without telling them about Faster Way. So it's just been a weird spot for me. So I enjoy being out in my community. I'm sitting at the gym right now. You've seen me waving at some people I know I met here. I like to be I've made relationships with some restaurants here, some local businesses, some healthcare providers here. I like to be involved in my church. I'm involved with my children's school and their programs. I'm a personal outreach kind of person, you know, so I enjoy networking per se, more than I do social media. I've learned to enjoy social media. I think it's fun. I have let down my guard to be embarrassed and just roll with it because I'm going to reach somebody.
Yeah.
But I've really enjoyed finding my rhythm kind of out more, and meeting people, and also building such great network with my own clients that they're sharing the Faster Way for me naturally. Because if they enjoy it, they're going to meet people and share people. So I've enjoyed creating relationship with my clients so that they continue to serve in my community with me.
Yeah. Yeah. So Rachel, I think has a kind of a unique approach when it comes to this, because this business can be very much social media based, but also, like I said, don't put your eggs in one basket, right? So I spend a lot of time as a new coach in my community as well, creating those relationships. Rachel has continued to do that. You know, she's working with a radio station, trying to get on the television station, you know, doing some other in-person connection things. She does that really, really well. And then on the flip side, Christie, I feel like you have a little bit different approach to your business. So tell us how you really started to see that ramp up of your business and how you did that.
Yeah, definitely. Rachel and I are besties, and we have ran our businesses probably completely opposite of each other. But that's what I love so much about the Faster Way community is we bounce ideas off each other all the time. Like, Rachel, I have no idea what I'm doing here. Like, can you help me here? And, you know, vice versa. I just feel like that's kind of a side note, but man, it is the most supportive community. And I think that's so special, especially among lots of women, to feel supported and to feel helped and not feel like you're alone on a coaching journey. It's a fun place to be. But anyways, that's a side note. So I do have a totally different way that I've done my business. And I think I was kind of thinking back to that, like, why has it been so social media based? And I think it's because when I told y'all that I started off, I was working a full-time corporate job from home. So I did have a few gaps in my day, but I didn't have the flexibility and the availability to go out in my community during the day. I didn't, but I had social media at my fingertips. And so naturally, I just kind of, went to social media because that was what fit into my life at that time. And, it started to take off a little bit, and it's been great. I've been able to meet so many women all across the world. I mean, I would say 20% of my clients are not US based. And it has been so rewarding. It has been so cool. I know I would have never met them if it weren't for social media, which I think is really cool. I think social media it has its pros and cons, but man, I'm so grateful for the relationships that I've built with my current clients who are US based, who are not US based, who I would have never met even in other states. And now I am starting to connect with some local Kansas City clients. I've, definitely, it's been building up from a local perspective, but and that's been so rewarding just to be able to go and like someone was like, hey, like you want to meet at Lifetime, my gym? And I'm like, yeah, we can meet in person. I keep forgetting because I have so many, clients that are not local. And so anyways, I think that's a little bit more about how I've used social media just because it did fit into my lifestyle and my rhythms at the time whenever I did start.
Yeah. And what I see Christie doing really well is speaking directly to a specific person that she wants to work with. And most of the time that's the person that you were before you found out, and she does that so well. It's very clear when you go to Christie's Instagram page that she works with women who have underactive thyroid, and that is what she is passionate about. And I think when you get really clear on your message and who you specifically want to work with, it allows you to be more successful, even when, we often have that scarcity mindset where we're like, I don't want to just talk to this one person, or oh my gosh, there's already so many Faster Way coaches. But really, when you are talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. We talk about that a lot in our business. What we call it is niching down or niching down, however you say that, to be real specific with the person that you want to speak with. So Christy's done that really well. And then on the flip side of that conversation was just, having that abundance mindset when it comes to starting this business and understanding that we're still a very, very new company and this world is really big. And there are so many lives that we have to still have to touch. And I think that it's, really scary thinking, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find clients to help, but social media is certainly one of those areas where you have the whole world at your fingertips, and just finding that ideal person that you want to work with and speaking directly to them, the people that you are meant to work with will come to you. So one of the things I wanted to ask you guys was, what was it? Oh, what's your favorite thing about coaching, Rachel?
My favorite thing about coaching are the results. I'm results driven. That's why I love working at the bedside. I see a sick person, they get better, and I send them home. I love the healing aspect. I love helping, healing, seeing someone go from here to here. So that's what I love when I meet a woman who is at a very dark spot, a low spot, insecure, lost, like Christy said, thinks her body is broken. And showing them that it's not, that it can be healed, that it can be different, and you can truly feel better and radiate wellness. So I like healing people. That's my favorite thing.
That's great.
I would say similar to Rachel. I mean, truly, the results, the testimonies, hearing my clients just share like how Faster Way has affected their lives. I mean, it's a trickle down effect, right? And a lot of times us as moms and wives, if we're happier, if we're healthier, if we're doing better, everyone in our family is going to benefit. They truly are, because, a lot of times we're kind of the main lady in our homes. And I truly believe that, generations can be affected positively when these new healthy healthy habits and this new lifestyle is put into place. And, young daughters can see their moms who are no longer just like not eating anything, right? But they're teaching them how to eat healthy and how to properly fuel their bodies. And so Yeah, I would say that. And I think, specifically to my clientele, just being able to really equip women with that, with hypothyroidism, with our strategies, but also with the knowledge they need to be able to be equipped to go to their doctors and know what to ask for and how to advocate for themselves. So, yeah, I think it's just being able to have a platform to be able to speak into women's lives and really just equip them and encourage them.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I think we can all probably agree that the hardest part is social media, right? I don't know about you guys, but like it's a full-time job just to like keep up with the latest what's happening and the algorithms and all of this stuff. But what I want to talk about is where you were. I think it's important that people listening to this who are considering being a coach don't compare their day one to my day 4,000 or whatever I'm on now, or Rachel's year and a half, Christie coming up on a year. Where we are in our business right now is not going to be the same as where we started. And social media is one of those things where you look at my account and I have 105,000 followers, which is a lot, I think, right? But I didn't start there. I started with, I think maybe around 800, and it was just like all family, and friends, just, people I knew. So Rachel, how did that look like? What did that look like then, and how does that look now for you?
Starting coaching into where I am now.
Like the Instagram, social media followers,
Yeah. So I still don't have a huge Instagram following, working on that.
Yeah,
but
I want them to hear that.
Yeah, so I had maybe 15, well, less, around a little over 1,000. I just hit 2,000 this month, September. So that's great. I have learned to not put my worth in that, to not put the measure of my success in that, because I am very successful without that number being large, because we all have different systems. And like you said, looking at women above me, specifically you, and other coaches who have done great, I looked at that kind of as a comparison, but I leveled up and realized I look at you for motivation. I look at you for advice. I look at you for consistency. Comparison is going to get me nowhere, because you are so much more ahead of me in the game. You've been doing this longer, all these things. So when I took that out of it, of this comparing to, oh, I need to do what this coach is doing because that's what's making her successful. But
right.
that's not natural to me. That doesn't present like that whole, what'd you say, when you're mimicking someone else?
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's people know that's not who I am.
Yeah.
So I think that's very true. But being genuine and authentic too, because if you're doing it that way, it doesn't feel like work. Like if I'm trying to create all these things that I don't understand, and then I get frustrated and I don't want to complete it because I'm not good at it, then that's going to rub off. So I have found to kind of stay in my lane, blinders, do what works for me and what my clients truly love. So
yeah, exactly. And that's where it all comes down to, like, where are our unique strengths? And but
it takes a while to find that strength.
Yeah, that's true. I think one of the best things that you can remember as a brand new baby coach or a seasoned coach is that her success is not your failure. And I constantly have to remind myself of that. And it's easy to get caught in that comparison game and feel like you need to be someone that you're not, or you need to change the way that you're doing things. And, just kind of coming back to that why and remembering, like, what is it about this that makes me truly feel passionate, or, why am I doing this? And that way, it just brings you back. And I think that also I've learned that I have to practice gratitude for what I have. And a lot of times I'll just read through like my client testimonies, and that just kind of pulls me back. Like, okay, I may, not be the top coach, or I might not be on that leaderboard in the right spot I want to be, but like, I am doing the things I am successful in my business, and success looks different for everyone. So I think that's also important to remember. And you get to make this whatever you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer that you look at this as a business and run your Faster Way coaching business as a business, but someone may look at this as just a hobby or something that they just, do to fulfill that void in their life of not being able to serve in a way that they want to serve. So, okay. I think that's, pretty much it. What is some advice that you would give to someone who is on the fence, hesitant to become a Faster Way coach? You guys have any helpful tips for them?
Go, Christie.
I was trying to think about this. I just think, sometimes we can get in our own way. And just like I said earlier, like if I would have let the fear and the doubt and honestly the lack of belief in my own self, because I didn't have that social media following when I started. I wasn't an entrepreneur. Like I didn't know how to run a business myself. I'd always worked for corporate. But if I would have let that, be what limited me from, becoming a coach, there are hundreds of women that I've been able to work with that who knows if they would have been able to find a faster way, And so I think getting out of my own way and getting out of myself and not letting kind of my pride get in the way. I would just encourage those of you who are thinking about becoming a coach, to have an abundance mindset, just like Loren said, and don't think like, oh, there's so many there really isn't that many faster way coaches in the grand scheme of things. And we really are a young company. And so there is plenty of opportunity for you. There are plenty of people that need you, that resonate with your story, because your story is going to be different than my story, than Rachel's story, than Lauren's story. And there are people, your friends and family that need you. And, it's a domino effect, I feel like, that you can really have, and you can impact those you love, and you can change the trajectory of their health. And so I think keeping your eyes on that, and if that's what you wanted, if that's where your passion's coming from, is to help as many women as possible, I want to encourage you to go for it, because man, you just don't know what the Lord has in store for you, unless you take that next step out in faith and trust where he's leading you, if you have that nudge on your heart.
Yeah, that was good. Rachel, you have anything to follow up on that?
Well, mine was like, just get out of your head for a second. I was so in my head that's what harmed me. But my first thought was, okay, I'll get my certification and I will recoup my money from that investment. And if I do that, that's great. If it flops, that's okay. What have I lost? So that was my first goal, was to make back my investment from coaching. Nailed that. My next goal was to remodel our terrible old bathroom. Nailed that. So then my next goal was, this year, my goal was to we wanted to buy a camper and do some more things with the boys for vacation. So I've nailed that. So if you're like in your head, blah, 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 things like that, set goals, like a physical or a financial goal, and try and meet that. And when you meet that, go to the next one. That'll make you feel confident. I have been able to provide a lot of fun things. I'm kind of now the fun money in the house, so that's really great. But not gonna lie, as I wouldn't be doing this if I weren't making an income, honestly, So serving is my passion, but I also want my family to benefit. It has to line up. I want my community to benefit. I want to be able to pour in my time, my time and my money into my church, into my community. So there has to be that side of the ball too. We all understand that. So I've enjoyed getting out of my way, thinking, what are people going to think? And to like, what can I do? So that's been really fun to challenge myself and meet that, and then set a next goal. So I like that.
Yeah, that's, I really haven't talked about this, but my hesitations and fears was all financially driven, because.
And you wrote a check and just paid your home off last year.
Yeah. So 4.5 or 5 years ago, when I joined as a client, I was scared to tell my husband that I was spending $200 on a fitness program. I was like,
ditto.
Me too.
I don't have $200 to spend on this, but like, can I do it anyways? That was seriously the situation. And So when I came to him and I was like, can I spend $5,000 on a coach certification? You know, he's like, what? Of course, he's supportive-ish, but
That's scary. That's
Yeah.
scary.
yeah, so I put the certification on a credit card. I was like researching, okay, how many months can I, you know, zero interest until I have to pay this thing off? Like it was scraping the pennies at that point. We did not have the extra funds just to like spend. And so that was definitely scary for me. And
Yep.
kind of as you said, I was like, all right, my first goal is to just pay that initial investment off. And if it doesn't work out after that, you know, it is what it is. And then my second goal was to be able to leave that job that I wasn't super happy in and just kind of replace that income. I mean, blown away by what actually happened. But like Rachel said, our next goal was to be able to pay off our mortgage in 3 years. And we did that in less than 3 years. Like, just insane. And yes, the impact is our primary reason for doing this, but the financial freedom that has come from that, being your true, authentic self, showing up and pouring into your community is also going to significantly impact your family. So now, you know, my husband isn't having to work sun up to sundown every single day, just like, you know, doing.
Yes, he still is.
He
'Cause
still
wants to.
doesn't know how to not do that anymore, I don't think. But it's not anymore. It's not a I have to do this because I have to support. You know, I've been able to kind of come in and take over some of that and take some of the stress off his plate. So that's been huge for us, for sure. This was fun. If you have any questions that's here live, you know, if you have a question about being a Faster Way coach, we can hang on and chat through those. Did we touch on everything? Is there anything else that you guys feel like we need to share while we're here? I feel like we kind of covered most of the bases.
The MLM aspect of this.
Oh, yeah.
I've had some clients that have researched Faster Way before they've even joined because they didn't want to be associated with an MLM.
Yeah.
And that's kind of something that I have. And I have a lot of people ask me that as well. So is it an MLM? And I'm like, no, it's not. I'm a coach and that's all I'll ever be. I am beside you. Like I'm not a regional sales coach or a regional sales trainer or this now executive member. I am what I am. So it's not, there's no ranks or levels. So I appreciate that. We aren't pushed to sell products at all. We're not pushed to sell anything. We sell a lifestyle. So we sell nutrition and movement, what every human should be doing. So I appreciate that there's no quota ever to hit with this. There's no clients per month, classes per month, proteins per month. That's nothing. It is truly genuinely driven by what you want to do with it. So I appreciate that there's nothing to meet besides what you set for yourself. And like Christie with her job, she could do these things and whatever I enjoy that. It doesn't feel slimy to me. It feels natural.
No hey girl messages, right? Like we're not in the like, hey girl. Oh my gosh, that's so icky. But yes, we are definitely not an MLM. I guess if you want to have a classification, we're a 1-tier affiliate program where we are able to build a team of coaches, but it's not a multi-level marketing situation where you're relying on, you know, businesses under you to for your business to be successful. And in fact, that's a big part of the Faster Way and where your income comes from. But that's a really good point. Thanks for bringing that up. Touch on everything else we do. I feel like we did.
I think I was just going to mention, you know, when you said that we have a coach team, that was so instrumental to me joining, to know that I wasn't just starting this business with no support and no help and, you know, had to just like figure it out on my own. Like that is why we, you know, have a coach team, and we have, I don't know what you would like, a coach mentor, because, you know, they're ahead of us in the game, and they're going to show us how, you know, what they did wrong, or, you know, what they learned, or what, you know, what we should do. I just think it's really beneficial to have that support. And I talked about how supportive the community is, but I think that was something that really helped. Like, okay, I'm not, I mean, I even looked at becoming like I wanted to look at getting like my functional like coaching certification, which was, like $8,000, just much more expensive. But once you got that, you were on your own. You know what I mean? Like you had no support. There was no foundation that was laid for you. And I think that's such a cool part about the Faster Way is that that's the exact opposite. So
Community part is wonderful. And I've made so many great friendships through this, and we are not competing it against each other. Truly, like I have a super close group of friends who are coaches who our businesses don't impact each other at all. And, we're all doing our same thing, but like we are helping each other in lots of different ways, and just being supportive, which is great because I feel like you don't find that, with online businesses or being an entrepreneur. You don't have that support. So good point. There was somebody who asked about how we kind of combat the fad diet situation that we're all in. And I think that just comes back to really making mindset a key player in how you coach your clients. Because what we are doing is the opposite of a fad diet. And what we hope for you to accomplish through the Faster Way as a client is that you don't ever have to go back to those fad diets. So it is just, in your messaging, I think, how we relay what our program offers and how we want to help you. And then just kind of having that, message of mindset around dieting and what that looks like, and what your goals should be as a client, looking more towards creating a healthy lifestyle, building those healthy habits that you can utilize for the rest of your life, as opposed to some crash diet that you can only white knuckle for so long. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
I mean, I completely agree with you. Yeah, and I think that, just like me, I watched it for 2 years. I think there are clients that are probably going to need to watch for a long time before they make the decision for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And I think once they get into the program, and they have invested that $199, most of them are going to realize, wow, I am really being educated, and not just told what to do, but I'm being set up for long-term success, in every season of my life, and can carry these strategies with me. So like Loren said, it is the exact opposite of a fad diet. I don't think everyone's going to believe you out there. But I do think that, it takes them making their own decision. Like, I'm done with the dieting hamster wheel, and I'm done, feeling deprived, and I'm done missing out on, fun things, and I'm done having low energy and all these things that come from those fad diets.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing we did not touch on this is such a hard question for me, but I get it so often that I feel like we need to touch on it. So people ask me how many hours I spend working. Is that hard for you guys to answer? Because it's really hard for me. And maybe it's because I'm not good at like time management. So when I was working full time and doing the Faster Way, I had to kind of just I had to be very diligent about my schedule and pencil it in where I could. And to be honest, I was working a lot. It, like you said, it really doesn't feel like work when it's something that you just really enjoy, but like it was a lot. But now it's like you can kind of pick it up where you want to, and you can work when you want to. Do you guys have like a set schedule that you follow, or do you know how much time you spend on your business?
Rachel, you want to go ahead with that?
I think there's danger in the flexibility. Sometimes I'm like, oh, yeah, I can do this, and I'll just do work later. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a lot to do now. But that's a blessing. I'm home with my boys 2 days a week, and I don't work on the weekends. I serve my clients on the weekends, but I'm not checking in office hours on the 2 weekends and Tuesday and Thursday. So I work on my business 2 to 3 days a week. I'm serving and communicating and taking care of my clients every day, but besides setting down, pumping out stuff, getting things done. I don't do that every day. I'm doing that 2 to 3 days a week in pockets of hours. So find that encouraging, just like Christy could do this at home in her pockets of hours. And also, like Loren said, it is what you make it. I started out with this as a hobby and enjoyed that. And then supply and demand, I had more demand than I did supply. So I kind of had to trim away some things. I backed out of the hospital a little bit more and focus on some more hours at home. So I have been able to scale that time with my business. You know, I could put a lot more time into it, but right now my time's dedicated to my little people. They are my absolute priority. So I do it to meet my integrity, but I also find the balance that works for my life and my business, and that's amazing to me.
I think you do that really, really well. Whereas sometimes it's hard to shut off a business that
you're available all the time.
Yeah, you do not. You could be on all the time.
You guys are gonna ride to the dentist with me for a minute, okay?
So yeah, I think she does a really good job of that, and that can be encouraging to you. Again, like I said, you know, your success is your own, and you decide what success looks like for you in everything you do, but especially since we're talking about this business, you get to define what that looks like. And success for Rachel is being able to work on her business specifically on a couple days a week and then pouring into her family in other ways. And success to her is having the freedom to, you know, not work on the weekends or in the evenings. I think that's a really great message. So, okay, let's wrap this up because I think that we're coming up on an hour here. I just want to quickly say thank you guys for being here with me today. You guys are amazing, and I'm so proud of you all and the businesses that you have built. You know, I said this last night to you guys, but I just want to say it to everyone. I think that what stands out to me in terms of Christy and Rachel's success is the fact that they are go-getters and they are quick to iterate and they do their own thing and they don't rely on someone else to tell them what to do. Go out and they're going to try it and fail forward and do the next thing. And I think that's really important to remember that you are in control of your own success here. So you guys just have always been so impressive, and I'm just so proud of you guys. If you guys want to join the coach certification information event, that is on Monday, and we would love to have you just be a fly on the wall, learn a little bit more about the nitty-gritty details of the coach certification process. So hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thanks for being here with us, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thanks,
have
Loren.
an incredible, fearless leader, so we appreciate you.
We do.
Thank you. Love you all.
Love you too.
Bye.
Happy Friday.
Bye.